It's March 2015. In less than 2 months, England is facing one of the most uncertain general elections in living memory.
Who are you? I'd never heard of you.
There are no strong front-runner contenders for our next Prime Minister, and the electorate are disillusioned with Westminster, young voters in particular.
Fair to people in Scotland.
Under-the-table alliances are being forged behind closed doors, such as Labour courting the SNP and the Conservatives supposedly getting into bed with UKIP. In Winchester, Hampshire, one young man is trying to turn the tide of political apathy whilst addressing his own concerns about a demographic ignored by every other political party. This demographic is of a personal significance as he has experienced prejudice against it firsthand. One of his key talking points is addressing the issue of gingerphobia and the fairer treatment of all red-headed minorities in the UK and worldwide. He hopes that winning a local election will raise the profile of his campaign to a national level and in turn bring it to the attention of those with the power to make change. We spend a week with Callum Robinson as he campaigns for his own political party, Gingers for Justice.
So, how much support have you got for your party so far?
Well, we have a lot of support at the moment. Ed Sheeran has, we're in talks about doing a gig for the party. Prince Harry said he'll be at polling day, and we've got a lot of support from the general public. A lot of the ginger population have really come out strong for our rights, and there's lots of support for the party at the moment.
It is Thursday, the 12th of March, and Callum has been campaigning around his constituency of Winchester, but today he is meeting the public door to door and soliciting votes.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm with the Gingers for Justice political party, and I was wondering if we could get your vote on election day.
My vote on election day?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, tell me a couple of things that your political party stands for, if you wouldn't mind.
The Gingers for Justice political party focuses on lobbying for ginger rights and to oust gingerphobia from Great Britain.
Okay. Well, let's broaden this out a little bit. I mean, where do you stand, for example, on issues like Europe? I mean, I'm very, very, certain that Europe is going to be a key issue, a key battleground this next election. Where do you stand on that subject?
Europe. Europe is obviously very important to this party, and
Right.
There are many gingers who live in Europe, and obviously we'd lobby for their rights as well.
Okay, but what about, for example, the Greek exit from Europe, and possibly Spain or Italy following, hard on their heels? I mean, where do you stand on that?
I'm sure there are plenty of gingers in those countries, especially Greece, and hopefully would be able to support them.
Okay, so you're quite ginger focused then, aren't you?
Oh, incredibly so. Ginger rights are very important to myself.
Okay, but you're not particularly focused on fiscal issues of the economy and the emerging markets and the possible stagflation issues around the economy in Europe? I mean, you seem to be very light on that, if I might say so.
If what helps gingers helps Great Britain.
Oh, right, good. Well, thanks very much indeed. Don't call us, we'll call you. Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you. Well, that was interesting.
Do you think you'll get his vote?
Yeah, I hope so. I think he'll come through on election day.
Wait, would you mind just clearing off?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Please, my
Sorry.
path.
Yeah, sorry.
Undeterred by negativity, Callum decides to go home and revise his strategy.
I think the general public can be quite gingerphobic in their politics, and obviously we're outnumbered considerably. I think the stats are something like 3-1 in favour of non-gingers. So I'd obviously want to hope for the best. I'd hope people would put away their sort of prejudices against us, and turn in favour. And we're trying to make our policies as accepting to the brunette and blonde population as much as possible.
Callum moves forward with making voters aware of Gingers for Justice by meeting and greeting the public on Winchester High Street. His main concern is the gingerphobia so often experienced by redheads in the UK.
Excuse me, do you have time to talk? No worries. Excuse me, do you have time to talk?
I have it. Right, my friend. Sorry, we my daughter. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no worries.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. Talk? No, sorry. No worries.
I'm fine.
No worries. I just want to ask you a few questions.
What the hell is gingerphobia?
Oh, it's prejudice against gingers within their day-to-day lives.
Look, my origins are Scottish. Most of us are ginger. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough. Good time.
I mean, we're a nation of gingers, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You like that one? Good.
Can I just say, my husband was ginger, my youngest son is ginger, and one of my granddaughters is ginger.
Oh, brilliant. And you would understand the prejudices that confront
Yeah.
gingers in day-to-day
I
life.
think it affects my son.
Yeah. Has he suffered from any
Well, when he
prejudice?
came back from being abroad once, he was hauled over, and he was sure it was because he was red-headed.
Have you noticed the severe lack of gingers out today in the high street?
I haven't.
No? You're aware that
Well-
Winchester's are washed with brunettes, as it were?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school with some gingers. It wasn't a very ginger-heavy area. I grew up in the suburbs, so they tend to be more in pockets, ethnic pockets. I think. Mainly the Highlands, Island.
Yeah. Personally, are you work with any gingers or?
I work with strawberry blondes, redheads. We don't like to call them gingers anymore. It's not
Yeah.
PC.
And if I could just ask, four famous figures in history who were ginger, if you could name four.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Rupert Grint, yeah,
Yeah.
he counts.
If I could ask you to name four historical figures who were ginger, if you could name four.
I try not to think about it.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Are you feeling that gingers are being discriminated
Oh,
against
without a doubt, yeah, there's
society?
a huge sort of lack. But I'm running for a party to hopefully sort
You're
that
working
out.
to help that, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it went really well. There's some keen voters out today, and hopefully we've got some great support for the Gingers for Justice party. It just went really, really well. Meeting the people really opened my eyes to the injustice that is in our beautiful country.
How did you get in contact with Prince Harry?
I know a friend who knows a friend, and kind of went down that kind of route. Just got a few phone calls, and we got talking, and obviously we share a genetic trait, and so a friendship kind of started straight away, really.
It's now late March, and Callum has been told that PM David Cameron is attending a private recital at Winchester Cathedral.
I meant to see Mr. Cameron. No, I meant to be in there. No, but I've.
So, Callum, what happened there? I thought you were going in.
Yeah, well, just not today, I don't think. Just. I'm meant to have some sort of pass thing, it's probably just in the post. But yeah, maybe next year.
Callum returns home. With a petition from the public to support ginger causes, he continues to have hopes that he will gain votes in the general election. It remains to be seen on the 7th of May.
So, Callum, how will you deal with austerity?
How will I deal with Oz territory? Well, frankly, what the Australians decide to do with their territory is completely up to them.